When you're radical back to the Liz Smart, I've finally been able to read through the jury convictions. So it's the same old, same old. The most abused people in the world, cancer patients. There were charges. There were charges against her for defrauding cancer patients. And I'm here to tell you, I was in a bone marrow transplant when this was going on. I was in there. I mean, my full-time, when your social media sites show up as your home, I was in the LDS East 8 bone marrow transplant in Salt Lake City the whole time this was going on. I watched this nightmare unfold. I watched people come in and say, no, we got this test. No. Wrong test. It cost so many of them their lives. This should have been manslaughter charges against her and him. And the thing is, the wealthy investors, the club, it's very similar to the Madoff case. It's very similar to, you go back to Enron. That's her mother, by the way. There were no charges against her, but it reminds me of the Gates case here 10 years ago. At the same time that this was happening, here in Utah. Yeah, Bill Gates on Microsoft case, on stealing WordPerfect. Yeah, that was 2011 here in Utah. One hung juror. But she's found guilty on 4 of the defrauding investors. There were 4 charges on defrauding patients. It should have been manslaughter. I'm telling you, how many people lost their lives because of this phony bullshit blood? I mean, people fall for shit. I mean, the armchair freaking doctors that's out there. I watched it. I was in that unit over and over and over, and people go, Kev, these doctors got these blood rounds work. I said, that machine's $10 million machine. I'm telling you, they don't have these blood works are not wrong. I mean, I'm an expert at reading blood works. Believe me, I've had literally thousands of them in the last decade. And I've had 13 bone marrow biopsies. I'm an expert at reading blood works, boy. I got to tell you, fine science. I had so many blow your mind. They mean everything. And I want to say this to the blood works and the doctors at LDS and the nurses. Thank you they tried. I mean, they saved my life. I mean, I was given too much to live. 10 years ago. My case is going to be in the medical journal again, from what I understand, in February, the end of February this month. Turn without a transplant, then blood works are everything. Again, the most abused people on earth are cancer victims. At first, when you're sucked up and you're skinny and you're bald-headed, you'll get people circling around you. This is a long battle. And anybody, all you cancer survivors and all you people that are mourning loved ones, you know what I mean. You know what a closure. There's no such thing as fucking closure. Never was. You know that. And we know. I'm telling you, in cancer, the blood works mean especially leukemia. And this is where they were defrauding people. I remember laughing at it. People were kind of like, yeah, right. You're going to quantum leap, get a prick that's going to read these bloods like this. You should see the machine. And the mad scientists down there, they have these tubes in the hospital. They're like a bank. They come in, you have a central line. I call it my Fukushima fish hook. It's right there. Hanging out. It's hanging out there. You got your things. I had 22 things hanging off my tree at one time. And, you're quarantined in there and you're so sick. It's unbelievable. At 4 o'clock in the morning, they come drop. I call them the ketchup test. They're big. They look like Tabasco bottles, and they fill them, and into that goes. And the mad scientists, they go to work down in the basement on that freaking, I call it the flux capacitor. He used to laugh. I knew that madman. He's the greatest. That guy was so good. And I might say, what's the mad scientist say today? Well, the flux capacitor. My other line I used to say, because of food, they used to say at LDS, this is not my words, by the way, this is LDS. They used to call the Huntsman the chemical cancers unit, the luxury good of death. Not me, that's not my word, that's theirs. They say, you can go up there and stay in the hotel and eat the good food, or you can come here, our food ain't so good, and it's not but you might live. But I remember sending down the doctors, they collect all your urine, because they bloat you full of water before they chemo you, and then they put you on Lasix, like a Bob Baffert Lasers, to get the drugs out of you, like Baffert does in California. And I says, I finally figured out what you do with all that urine you collect. I told the server, which I've got to be friends with them all, it's the only people you communicate with, you're quarantined. You make coffee out of it. He come up to my room. He says, "I've heard them all. I got to meet this guy who come up with this one because that's the best one ever." But they should have been manslaughter again. Defraud wealthy investors in this country. Ask Bernie Madoff. You'll get found guilty on that. But go after cancer victims. Go ask Bear Monsanto. They're going to give everybody check. No, they're not. They ain't giving check. The patients that were actually died from this and their family members, same old, nothing. Again, go ask Mike Lee. Kicked me out of Medicaid. His father died of this disease. Yeah, he don't care. So did Barack Obama. So did, Biden's son. So did Kamala Harris's mom. So did, all the Trumpers. So did, Mike Lee's dad. I mean, so many of these left, right, they don't care. I don't get it. I don't get it how it doesn't wound them and they stand up to who gives it to them. So, same old. Guilty for defrauding wealthy George Shultz, Henry Kissinger, and crew. But the patients, 4 charges were for cancer patients that were going through this that she defrauded. They defrauded. Oh boy, it's worse than defraud. It should have been manslaughter charges. We'll see the civil cases, but again, same old. I've said it for years. That's why I'll tag this Fukushima news. Cancer victims were the most abused people on the face of the earth because this is a long, ugly battle. And we got nothing. So, same old. Defraud wealthy investors, one thing. Defraud, give people, false hope, lie to them. I'm here to tell you, and nobody knows this like Kevin Blanch. Blood works are life or death when it comes to AML leukemia, and that's what she was. That's what the charges read. I just read through the charges. That's what they said. One juror reminds me of the Bill Gates case here. One juror. Stand tuned.